The Earth Voice Coalition came together after administration officials said President Bush currently has no plans to attend the Rio conference.
Politics has to end when global survival comes into play.
On February 4th, an alliance of the most prominent leaders and environmental organizations representing over 7.8 million members gathered together to lend their support to launching Earth Voice.
We are facing a crisis. And the purpose of Earth Voice is to send a message to President Bush. That message is, go to Brazil. This is one international trip that America wants you to take.
President Bush said this week he may not be able to make it to that Earth Summit. That's the big UN-sponsored environmental powwow scheduled for June in Rio de Janeiro. Leaders from the other major industrial countries say they'll be there. But the U.S. president says domestic concerns and this coming election thing may prevent his attendance.
President Bush has not said whether he'll attend the Earth Summit.
Rafe, there's a commercial now being played in some movie theaters around the country. Want to take a look at it, and then we can talk about it, at least a piece of it.
On June 1st, 1992, world leaders from almost every nation on the planet will converge on Rio de Janeiro for the first ever Earth Summit. Held by the United Nations, these leaders will sign treaties that will determine the future of our global environment. At stake is the entire human race. Problem is, our own president may not participate.
Environmental groups in this country have launched a controversial advertising campaign aimed at one man. They want President Bush to go to Brazil for the UN's first Earth Summit in June.
This is a major global event in which the United States must lead. You simply can't take time out from being the president when something affecting the whole world is going on.
It's been showing on movie screens in more than 500 theaters across the country, a commercial made to look like a coming attraction for the apocalypse.
At stake is the entire human race.
Again, the issue is being hyped as the end of the human race if the president doesn't go to Rio.
It's an ad depicting environmental apocalypse and features the doomsday voice of Darth Vader. That's actor James Earl Jones.
Well, there are vast stakes at Rio.
And this is a tremendous opportunity for visionary leadership.
Well, now there's a new effort to get Bush to the summit.
Our Earth is in trouble. People the world over have mobilized for an historic opportunity. On June 3rd, world leaders will converge on Rio de Janeiro for the first ever Earth Summit. They will sign treaties that will determine the future of the entire human race. Right now, you can raise your voice in support of these agreements. The power is in your hands. Call 1-800-LEAD-RIO. Your message will be delivered to the White House as a public appeal for the protection of our planet.
The issue of global warming is heating up, and nowhere is the heat greater than on the White House.
The minute-and-a-half movies inspired more than 5,000 telegrams to the president.
It's not a Bush-bashing campaign. We're not out there. We're giving him the opportunity to unify this country.
But Mr. Bush hasn't said if he'll go to the summit, scheduled for June in Brazil.
It's not easy to not go or to go. I mean, you just have to sort these things out.
El mandatario norteamericano George Bush, quien se describe a sí mismo como el presidente del... Algunas organizaciones, sin embargo, se sienten...
I am an environmentalist. I believe
the United States has been lagging.
We should be doing something to slow global warming.
Uma assessora do presidente Bush disse que os Estados Unidos não se comprometerão com tratado.
George Herbert Walker Bush.
The administration has been reluctant up until now, but in the middle of a political year, there are some signs that the president is changing his mind.
And since the campaign was launched 2 months ago, the White House has been bombarded with some 10,000 telegrams. Even the cast of Cheers got into the act, sending the president a video postcard. Now, you can send your own telegram for $6.95 by calling 1-800-LEAD-RIO.
World leaders from almost every nation on the planet will converge on Rio de Janeiro for the first ever Earth Summit. Held by the United Nations, these leaders will sign treaties that will determine the future of our global environment. At stake is the entire human race. Problem is, our own president may not participate. The only way of assuring that he will attend is for him to know he has the full support of the American people now.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, our follow-up to last week's Newsreel special on the Earth Summit. We showed you this public service announcement asking that you send George Bush a telegram urging him to go to the summit.
The only way of assuring that he will attend is for him to know that he has the full support of the American people.
Well, we sent the president an Earth telegram, and we got a letter back. We thought you'd be interested in what the White House has to say.
I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw something coming, trying to take my mother away. I said, you there, people, please won't you go real slow? Won't you go slow? For this lady you are carrying, I would hate to see her go.
Our Earth is in trouble. On June 3rd, world leaders from over 100 nations will come together in Rio de Janeiro for the first ever Earth Summit. They'll sign key treaties that will determine the future of our entire planet. Right now, you can raise your voice in the call for a better world. Keep the circle of life unbroken. Let our president know your commitment to the Earth Summit.
In the sky, Lord.